OsGIS draws maps. This is a map of New Zealand. The data were downloaded from Stats New Zealand. And the interesting thing about these sort of data are that the polygons have got names on them. So to show you, I can overlay names, and for the same file, and we select the sort of text we want to use, and we put it on. Now it's a bit of a mess, but as you can see, we've got the Chatham Islands named and the Southland District and all these sorts of things. Now the main point about OsGIS is, although it draws maps, that's not really the purpose of the system. What we're really interested in is related attribute data. So for example, here's a spreadsheet which is data also downloaded from Stats New Zealand, and it's census data. So in the spreadsheet, each column here is a census statistic, and these spreadsheets have to be in a particular form for OsGIS, in that the top row along here has got the titles, the names of what the various statistics are. So we've got the population change, for example, in this row. Another mandatory feature is that the second row has to have the units that the data are in, because obviously if you don't know, the data doesn't mean a lot to you. And the final thing of interest is that we have names here. So the far northern district, this was the population count, and the names here are exactly the same as the names in the map. And because they're exactly the same as the names, it means we can tie the data to the map. So let me show you. We go up to the top menu and select a type of map, which is a zone map, or the standard choropleth map, and it asks us the name of the attributes and attribute files, and I've entered that spreadsheet into the system. So there's the attributes, and the geographic file for the map data is the same as we saw before, and then we draw the map, only this time it's coloured according to the attribute data. So for example, at the top here we've got the title, it's the name of the attribute we're displaying, which was the same as in the spreadsheet, and various other features on the map. So for example, you get a diagram showing the way the data are distributed, and you get a legend down the bottom. So you've got the numbers within each class. So there's only one in the top class, and it's the region around here, which is Auckland, and presumably therefore the highest population. Not only you get the numbers, but you get the ranges of values within each of these classes. Now, the other point I want to make is, although OsGIS draws maps, it's not really about drawing pretty maps, it's about drawing the map that tells you what you want to know about your attribute data. And there's various things we can do here. So the obvious thing is you can select what attribute you want to display, and you get a list of them, which are once again what was in the spreadsheet. So we can put up the population change one instead, and now we've got the data quantized, and the colors have all changed. Now the other basic thing you may want to do with a map to help you understand the data is to look at the way you're classifying the data. So we can, for example, look at pseudo continuous color map, and now we've got sort of the colors, a range of colors sort of that are progressive, so you hope you can just look at the map and interpret how the values are. So once again, we've got one yellow one, and as you'd expect from the distribution. And there's a lot of other things you can do here. So you can display text, for example, and graphics, the type of text that you want. So we can say graphics type 3, the text that we want to appear, and New Zealand. And then we select where we want that to appear on the map. So, okay, and now we've got New Zealand on there. And all sorts of other things. You can overlay lines onto the map, and names, as you saw before, and various other things. Typically, you're going to add data to the map because it's to help you sort of understand the map. And typically you might do something like say put names of major towns on there or something, so just to help you orientate it. Then you got regions. You can change the region's displays. You can subset out pieces of the map and add it in as a separate insert. Do all sorts of things. So change the region that we want, perhaps, and once again, perhaps we look up around Auckland Way or something, and you've now changed what you want. So manipulate the map to help you understand what you're sort of looking at. Now, when you're finished, you can save the map if you like, so you can pull it back and have it appear quickly. And when you're finished, you go up to the top menu, which gives you the very basic sort of operations within the system. So, for example, you can open a save map. You get all sorts of facilities for importing data. So, for example, importing geographic files. The data from New Zealand was in Esri shape file format, so this is the way I got the data into the system, by selecting this. You got various ways of looking at the data, so you can interrogate your files, get some basic information about them. The appearance of the map is governed by a whole lot of device files, in which the basic thing of interest is that you've got these sequences of colours, and these are the ones that you saw. But we could use a different device file if we want to, so who knows, here's another one, and display that one, and now we've got different sets of colours, different text sizes, different lines used for drawing your roads and things as overlays, and so on. You've also got some preparation facilities, and this is where you'll bring your data in, and you'll do things to it to prepare it for your map display. You got your map options. We had a look at the first one, but you can do various other types of maps, such as perhaps bivariate maps, where you put up two attributes at a time, and say you're comparing your data, your sales data, your electorate data or whatever, compared to standard, say, census data or whatever. There's also an option where you can just display the data out of your geographic files without concern with attribute data at all. And similarly, you've got diagrams, where the diagrams on the map you can put up by themselves without any map. And finally, you've got some applications for defining territories, your sales territories, your school districts, your whatever. And you've got some location allocation sort of stuff where you can put up a map and use the data to decide where you might want to put your shopping centre or your hospital or that sort of thing. So just a quick look at bivariates. So for example, we can change our device file and choose one for bivariates and display that. And here now you can see that we've got like a two-dimensional color range, which is what you want for bivariate maps. So we do bivariate zones, select how about Australia, and your geographic file, and you use two attributes here, and you can do something else. Select the next primary attribute, for example, or once again select a primary attribute, say from the list. So we might be interested in beer consumption and comparing it at the same time to population growth. So I think that's enough just for an introduction. OsGIS is sort of a 30-year development project. Things have come and gone out of the system over the years, and the current release is available from SourceForge, and it's free, and you can get source code down as well if you like. Now you'll appreciate that there's a lot of options, and to explain them all we'll probably take a few more of these videos. Now the videos are just home movies. They're effectively, if you could come in here and sit down next to me, it's probably what I'd show you. One of the restrictions is, I guess, that if you were here, the first thing I'd find out was how much you knew about mapping and really how much I had to show you. So we'll probably in the subsequent videos head a bit more towards over explaining things, so bear with us. And I think that's about all for the first video. So I guess goodbye.